Good morning. Welcome to Community Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Sandy Farlow. I'm a worship associate and part of the team that is working to bring this service to you wherever you may be. I'm glad you're joining us here for worship or online. Here at Community UU Church, our mission is nourishing spirits, working for justice, and transforming lives. We seek to examine spiritual questions individually and with others, and to educate all ages by promoting ethics, a sense of morality, and the pursuit of personal and shared truth. We strive to make the world a more compassionate, just, and respectable place. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. Well, I feel so fortunate to have a return visit from Reverend John Thornburg this morning. Many of you will know him from his time here in Dallas before he and his wife moved to Austin. He is an inspiration and a mentor to many, and I want to say just an all-round nice guy. He's warm and kind and a talented teacher and an encouraging friend and mentor. This is what his official bio says. John Thornburg is a pastor, poet, and encourager trying to live into the title Entrepreneur of Hope. He is a retired United Methodist minister who spent 22 years serving churches in the Dallas area, including North Haven United Methodist, 13 years as a song enlivener, traveling across the U.S. and in West Africa, learning and teaching songs, and 9 years doing leadership coaching with the Texas Methodist Foundation. These days, and this is really interesting, he is the lead storyteller for a nonprofit called Cultivate Community. Based on a 300-acre farm near Paris, Texas, it does environmental education, restoration of native habitat, provides affordable housing to first-time homeowners, and offers respite in nature for teachers, pastors, and other leaders. Okay, so, I'm thinking you have to come back and tell us about this place. On the Sundays that Reverend Aya is not scheduled, it's a real pleasure for us worship associates to have another minister to share this Sunday service. Welcome, John.
Thank you. These days, the earth seems to be trembling a little bit more than usual. And when the earth trembles, sometimes stones come apart. And that means that the path that we had been traveling is now filled more with uneven stones. And so we pray today that in addition to giving us all of our senses to navigate this current day, that God will also give us more nimble feet to journey on those uneven stones. Come, let us worship today.
Our chalice will be lit this morning by Savitha Sundar. These are the words of Jason Shelton from the hymn, Morning Has Come.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
Our covenant is the promise we make with one another about the way we will walk together here in this church, in the community, and in the world. We remind one another each Sunday by saying these words together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another. So, I love music. All kinds. Well, I'm a little bit dubious about rap and heavy metal and maybe opera too, a little, but almost everything else. And I know exactly why. My mother sang to me and with me all my life. Even after her dementia took hold, she could remember lyrics and certainly the melodies from many old songs. It was comforting to both of us to share music when nothing else really got through. Everybody in my mom's family can sing, and almost all of my Chipman cousins still sing in their church choirs wherever they live. Most of us can play or have played a variety of instruments, and some of my cousins are professionals. So my knowledge of early classical music and composers came from piano lessons from my aunt. You should hear us at family reunions. I know more old pop and country songs from the 30s, 40s, and 50s than any of my friends. I learned to sing simple harmonies at home with my mom as a kid. I've sung in choirs since grade 5, so I learned to appreciate choral music. I absorbed folk music in my college days, and I worked in the music industry in LA in the late 60s and early 70s. And I moved to Texas in time to be part of the outlaw country movement. So, kind of one of my parlor tricks is no matter what the subject is, I can come up with a song line and sing a bit for you. It's quite irritating to my friends. I know new music too, because I listen to radio and I have grandchildren. The point of all this is I have a head full of music. Lucky me. And I wish this for every child. There are so many reasons to sing to and with your kids. Singing with your children prepares them for reading. The rhythms and the rhymes of language teach vocabulary and concepts that children may not hear in everyday communications. Clapping or playing an instrument improves fine motor skills and helps a child to learn syllables. A song teaches narrative structure. And most of all, singing is fun. It builds connection. Your child or grandchild already loves the sound of your voice. So don't be self-conscious. Even if you think you sing badly, a child will have fun singing with you. It might feel scary to sing a song, but if we want kids to grow up and be courageous and open-hearted, we can help them by modeling that behavior ourselves. So sing anything, literally. Sing songs you like and know, or songs you make up, or songs that are silly, or songs that make work easier. This is the way we brush our teeth. You know all of those. Sing songs repeatedly. Children learn by repetition. Sing the wrong words. Sing a different tune. Sing and do crazy dances. And listen to music with your kid too. You will be tired of Baby Beluga long before your child will. But you're building connections. Introduce them to musicians that you like. My nephew was barely 2 when he would say to the streaming device in the living room, "Gobble, play Wing of Fire!" By the time he was 5, he had a considerable Johnny Cash repertoire. And don't stop listening as they grow. Stay open to the music they like. Your child or your teenager or your partner will appreciate this and remember. Last Sunday, Bob Thigpen's family talked about his love of music. His daughters reminiscing about singing around the campfire, and their dad taught them to dance, and the grandkids called him Crazy Leg Grandpa. So, sing to your kids. I don't care if you were a member of the a cappella choir in high school, or if you sing karaoke when you're overserved, or you only sing in the shower or in the car. Unapologetically, lovingly, and loudly sing to, with, and for your children.
I began the service referencing the fact that we feel shaking underneath. And now I share parts of a poem, which is simply called We Journey on Uneven Stones. Eternal One, the tremors have unsettled us, evicting us from places where our hearts found rest. As shaken as we are, we hunger for a place to meet and talk, to know that we are safe enough to plant new seeds of trust, a place to pray, to sing, to laugh, to sigh, to disagree, to reconcile. Help us, Eternal One, to name the things we miss, the ones which gave us life and made us eager to enlarge the circles of our love, and give us tears to soothe our eyes, to calm our fear, to still our anxious hearts. There is a place ahead where we have been before. We know its roads, the schoolyard swings, the corner store, the way the street lamps pierce the dark. But we have different eyes, and what we see is shaped by what the tremors are doing. So many things escaped our view. What's missing is more plain. And so is what is new. If we are brave, we'll seek each other out, deciding that this rediscovered place is not as daunting when we join hands. We need a place to stay up late and tell the stories of the God who does not sleep, who makes a way when tremors come. Well, dear friends, it's good to be back. I really enjoyed my last time here. And I'm kind of feeling as though that's already happening. Because I had some time with the choir this morning. They got me revved up. So I want to thank first Sandy for the invitation. I want to thank Pam for welcoming me back into a circle that we started to draw a whole lot of years ago at a church camp on Lake Bridgeport. When we sat on a log together, and among the other things Pam asked was, "Can girls be ministers?" Well, as you can see, the answer is clearly yes, and I thank God. I thank God. So, full circle, Pam. I want to thank Joe and Nancy Barlow for opening their home to me. What a treasure of an evening we had and a morning, and so thank you for that. Now, may I have an F major chord? We're going to sing. Listen to me first and then come on in. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We're a justice-seeking people. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We're a land of many colors. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We're all in this together. We are all in this together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are all in this together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. A song from one of the muses of the Unitarian Universalist Church, Holly Near. It's interesting because one of the original stanzas was, "We are gay and straight together," but in recent years, since language is so fluid about gender, it's been rewritten about 4 times and will be, thank God, because of who we are understanding ourselves to be and how we understand ourselves to be in community. But thank God for this song. Now here's another one. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with. Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on.
Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't you despair.
Don't you despair.
Lift up your heads.
Lift up your head.
The path is there.
The path is there.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with. I know you're scared.
I know you're scared.
And I'm scared too.
And I'm scared too.
But here I am.
But here I am.
right next to you.
Right next to
Let's do that one again. I know you're scared.
I know you're scared.
And I'm scared too.
And I'm scared too.
But here I am.
But here I am.
Right next to you.
Right next to you.
We're all in this together. That's the wisdom of Holly Near. It's in your hymn book. I know you're scared and I'm scared too, but here I am right next to you. That's the wisdom of Melanie DeMore, an extraordinary song enlivener whose favorite venue is the college campus. 2 songs and 2 amazing statements of solidarity. You'd think that the act of singing, especially singing together, was good for us. Well, guess what? It is. Listen to this. Music stimulates the brain by engaging in a wide variety of regions and neural networks that govern emotion, memory, movement, reward, and even cognitive abilities, which is why music can boost memory, enhance learning, and relieve stress and anxiety. Want me to keep going?
You bet.
This is where you say yes.
Yes.
Musical training or frequent listening induces neuroplasticity, the brain's natural ability to adapt and reorganize by promoting new connections and even structural changes between regions, improving everything from memory to social bonding and physical coordination. How many of you think that's good news?
That's good news.
Now, I can't imagine that there are a few of you here today who are saying, but I can't sing. If you're saying that, I hope it's not as a result of someone telling you in a precious moment of your life that you shouldn't sing or that you couldn't sing. Teenage boys are the most frequent target for shaming as it regards singing because of that awkward period when their voices are changing. But there are all too many forms of shaming, and if you've been shamed, I'm deeply sorry, because that was a cruel thing for someone to say to you. But here's the dilemma. Don't say you can't sing if you really can. As it's so elegantly put by my Scottish friend and mentor, John Bell, only 3% of the world's population is physiologically unable to sing. However, 65% of North Americans think they're in the 3%. It is unfortunately true. American culture is one of the very few cultures in the world in which there is even a thought concept. I can't sing. And all the others are all English-speaking cultures. Isn't that interesting? What dominant culture does, huh? It's something, this sense that we can't sing, it's something that happened gradually in the U.S. over the last 75 years that has led us to believe that we can't or shouldn't sing unless we're as good as Taylor Swift or Whitney Houston or Barbra Streisand or Denise Graves or Prince or Harry Connick Jr. or Luciano Pavarotti or you name it. We shouldn't sing unless we sound as good as the singer on the recording or the singer on America's Got Talent or the singer on the Broadway stage or the opera stage. We shouldn't sing unless the worship band plays the song as well as the band in our sanctuary on the recording. Oh, that's so pathetic. Here are a few things that led to it. and some important dates. June 21st, 1948. The introduction of the vinyl long-playing record. Previous to vinyl, records were made of shellac and could only hold one song per side. Anybody remember that? So if you wanted to hear several songs of the same artist, you either needed to get a ton of these really heavy, clunky shellac discs, or you had to go somewhere in person with other people and listen. Long-playing records brought the concert hall or the civic auditorium or the band shell into our living rooms. And so there was a gradual process of learning less and less music in public spaces, surrounded by lots of people, and more music in private places with fewer people. You with me? Second date, 1956, the appearance, full-blown, of Elvis Presley. It was the extraordinary effect of Elvis's presence and music on teenagers that told the music industry to do something it had previously never done. That is, market music to different age groups. That meant we were much less likely to learn new songs with our whole family, unless we learned them in religious services, or possibly at a ballpark or civic gathering. We all got accustomed to the idea that having our own music, and we increasingly alleged that our music was great, while yours stunk. In church, it led to, in the 90s especially, it led to what we called the worship wars, in which people went to battle over whose music was really God's favorite. That was a purely pathetic exercise on the part of the American church. Unitarians were not spared from that. 1979, the introduction of the Sony Walkman. Who can guess how that changed things?
Nobody's saying it all. You just heard it inside your head, so there was nothing to share.
The world of personal entertainment. Please understand, I'm not quoting these things to be judgmental. I'm quoting them to point the direction our culture has been going and its effect on song. Are you with me? So we didn't have, with the Sony Walkman or other cognate devices, we didn't have to depend on a disc jockey to cue the things we loved. We didn't have to listen to a dozen songs on the radio in order to get to our favorite one. We just put in our earplugs and listened to whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted it. We could, as the Burger King commercials of the day told us, have it our own way, have it our way. So I don't think it's any coincidence that that ad campaign came at the same time. When our whole culture was told special orders don't upset us, we decided to take it seriously and say exactly what we wanted, whether burgers or music. The culture of personal preference got a huge boost from that ad campaign. Now, there are certainly other things that contributed to the creation of this mammoth culture of personal preference. In some ways, it was an antidote, and a good one, to the massive culture of conformity that emerged in post-World War II culture. In that post-war culture, the big question about music was more likely to be just a question of curiosity. What is this song, like a child looking around the room and saying, what is this song doing to grandma? What is this song doing to dad or to my best friend who's here? What's happening here? But over time, the question shifted to personal preference. Is this my music? And if the only question that's being asked by a majority of Americans about music is the question, is this my music? Is it for me? Then should we be surprised that music is just like most other parts of culture in our day, grist for argument and conflict? Just look at the reactions to the halftime show of the last few Super Bowls. And you'll see that Americans are as divided in their musical opinion as they are in almost everything else. That didn't happen by chance. So friends, do you see how completely countercultural it was for us to sing the two songs we just sang together? Here, in this room, surrounded by other people doing the same thing. This is countercultural. There are so few places in North American culture in which we can sing for our lives together. And it's abundantly clear we're going to need more of those places. Are you with me there?
Yes.
The famous 20th century philosopher Jimi Hendrix put it this way: music doesn't lie. If there's something to be changed in this world, then it can only happen through music. I heard a stirring testimony to the power of music transforming lives and culture when I visited South Africa in the year 2000. Apartheid had just fallen 6 years before, and so things were still in very deep transition. The work of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was ongoing, and so lots of stories of pain were being told. I was working alongside a Methodist pastor named Wilili Sagabi. He had been deeply involved in what he simply called the struggle, what we called the anti-apartheid movement. And he had been arrested in his early 20s for his anti-apartheid advocacy, along with the well-known activist Steve Biko, who was the head of what was called the Black Consciousness Movement, a group that popularized the saying, "Black is beautiful." I asked him if he was willing to narrate the story of his arrest, and he said he was. He said that 55 men were arrested at the same time and put in a building that was not even the size of this room. It had no windows, little ventilation, no furniture, and a simple hole in the concrete floor for toileting. The group was detained in that room for 6 months. When he came to the end of describing this ordeal, I asked him, "How did you survive?" And without pausing, he said, "We survived by singing." That group of 55 determined, angry men were singing for their lives. He continued on with his story, just amazing me with every detail. And then he said, "Can I teach you a song?" I felt like saying, well, that's kind of like asking, can I give you a bowl of Bluebell vanilla? So I told him it would be an honor, and he began to sing. And this is what he sang. Samlandela, samlandelu Yesu, samlandela, yanke indawo, samlandela, samlandelu Yesu, yafo ayokano samlandela. He then insisted that I write the song down. he meant quite literally. So first of all, he spelled the words. Then he told me what they meant. Then sang all 4 vocal parts, one at a time, so I would notate them on a page. Little did I know, so I was feeling pretty pumped at this moment. Little did I know there were about a dozen forms of the song circulating in Southern Africa at the time. It meant, I will follow. I will follow Jesus. I will follow where he leads. Now, Wilile then explained to me that though the song was deep in the hearts of South African Christians, Biko and his followers had decided that they had to make a change in the song. The theology and practices of the Dutch Reformed Church, the predominant religious presence among the whites who were the founders and preservers of apartheid, taught about a Jesus who supported the gross and ungodly segregation and violence at the heart of apartheid. So the activists decided that until apartheid was dismantled, they would have to remove Jesus' name from the song, lest black people would think that the activists themselves believed in this pseudo-Jesus. So, said Wilile, we substituted the names of the leaders of the resistance movement, like Mandela, Sobukwe, and Biko, in the hope that when apartheid was overcome, we could sing once again about the real liberator, the one who had been so grossly disguised and misrepresented by the Dutch Reformed Church. We survived by singing. That's what he said. They sang together. They didn't decide whose music was the right music. They didn't send the young ones over into the corner to sing their songs. They didn't put on their Walkmans and all sit down apart from each other. They sang together, and the songs inhabited them, gave them clarity of purpose. They cleared space in their brains and in their spirits to help them persevere in the struggle. Friends, we've got urgent work to do because we need to sing in order to survive. But I wish I didn't have to say it. We may have an uphill climb to find the songs capable of uniting us because of the reasons that I've been naming. It's become nearly impossible to have songs that reach across the whole spectrum of America. So I'm guessing that if there are any truly powerful songs coming our way, and I believe they are, they will be songs that were first written for small groups of concerned folks, for a group of school teachers, for a group of healthcare workers, for a group of Unitarians in Plano. As the writer Margaret Wheatley put it, it's our work to create islands of sanity. Small groups in which the truth is told and people unite around common needs and aspirations, even if those aspirations are for the 12 folks who live in an apartment building on Parker Road, or the 6 folks from this congregation who go to walk and sing alongside them. Thank God we are all in this together. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on.
I know you're scared.
I know you're scared.
And I'm scared too.
And I'm scared too.
Now look at somebody. But here I am.
But here I am.
Right next to you.
Right next to you.
Amen.